Good morning. Buenas noches. Okay, so got some questions, got some answers. All right, we're gonna start with this coop here. So, tell you how it's done. You can see we've just put a regular post. Now, everything with these, besides the wiring and some of the wiring, was just stuff that we acquired, and the tarps. And I'm gonna explain. Yes, I will explain why we have tarps in here. So this is my baby chickens. They're, what are you? You guys like 4 months old now? Yeah, okay. So I got them during the summer. It was still hot. So as soon as they got some little feathers, I can move them from the inside to the outside. Because let's face it, chickens stink. And I didn't want them in the house. Because you can't, and like I explained before, all the flooring is alfalfa. And I use alfalfa because when I put it out, they will eat it. And they'll eat any bugs that are in it. And it's really good for them. So I bed all of the pens with alfalfa. Now, the reason that I have this tarp, and what it is, there's three tarps that I cut in half to make these walls, because they were still small enough that they could fit through those little holes. So I had to make sure that they weren't going to squeeze out and go running around the desert. And I also didn't want any critters to come in while they were that little. At this age, if a mouse comes in, sorry folks, they eat it. And I have no problems with that. But I also had a heating lamp because sometimes the nights would get cold, and I wanted to make sure the little creatures were okay. Now, Kevin, this is all scrap wood that you can get from, if you go by a job site and you ask the workers there, what are you throwing away? They'll show you a pile. And the less that they have to take away, the better for them. So they'll let you take it. All of this wood is scrap. It came from different construction sites. It's the boards that aren't going to be used that usually get thrown in the trash. And you all have seen the price of wood now, right? So, and this tarping we got from one of those surplus places that buys up stuff. It was from one of the Super Bowls. You see here, there's kind of a map up there. But it's got enough air. It's sun shading. And it's been perfect for the birds on top of the roof, on top of the coop. Now, you'll say that, well, do you really need a roof? Yes. I've come out a few times and discovered my birds missing a head or killed by birds of prey. So that does happen. Owls like to take the necks out and take off and leave you the body behind, which is not nice. Other birds of prey will just grab the whole bird or try to kill it here inside the pen. All of this fence wire, the stuff that we didn't acquire because somebody was getting rid of it, just came from Tractor Supply. We just bought big rolls of it, and you can see it's I think this is 4 foot wire, and you can see the mark here. This is where one's beginning and one's ending. So this is to the lower part, this is to the upper part, to go up to make a nice big tall pin. This was an old gate that was getting thrown out. Nothing was wrong with it really, a few bent parts. So, and that's just a pipe that was being thrown out. We buried the pipe, and it's a great system. Over here you can see Kevin's made me, and this is important because I'm constantly battling. This all connects into the garden area. So I'm constantly battling rabbits and chipmunks, and I didn't know chipmunks existed in the desert, but apparently they're all at my house. And different critters. Now, this is the funniest thing. So Kevin took a lot of wood and he kind of built a frame. All right, and this is just some PVC pipe and another piece. And I think he burned this to make this little handle, melted a little bit. But it works perfectly. And on the back side is some old tin off of, being discarded. Kevin just scooped it up. And we keep, I know I'm always complaining, right, about my gatherings, but we keep everything because we make use of it. Over there's some more metal that came, metal rusts and it gets dented and it gets ugly and people don't want it anymore. So we're Sanford and Son. We gather it up and we bring it home. This was a door to something. I don't know. At any rate, this is how he made my backyard door. It connects to the pin, so it works out well. And I just put my shovels and hose and rakes. I will tell you, as a chicken farmer, my best tool is right here. A pitchfork. That handles that alfalfa because, every month I go in here. They eat it all up. I go in here and I rake it. And then I pitchfork it out into the garden so that it'll compost down into the soil. Works great, especially over the winter. This was another door off of something that we acquired. It was too short, so Kevin made a little screen door for me. And it has a latch right here to let me in. And I used the plastic tubs that you get at Tractor Supply and old dog bowls for the feed and water. It's just a lot simpler. Kevin loves this kind of watering system. They're expensive. They're effective. But I have to go into the coop. I have to take the lid off to fill it up. Where here, when I'm walking around watering, I just put the hose in. We're good to go. Don't even look at my toes, little miss. This is another coop. And this is an old doghouse, as you can see. All right, and Kevin took part of the lid off, and there's poop along here because they like to roost up here. Kevin took the lid and put a hinge on it so that I could lift it up and get in there real easily. So everything we've used is really scrap material. And so, you can save in cost and still give your birds a great little place to be. This just hooks to the wire with the simple hook. Very few things were purchased. We just kept acquiring. This is an old door. And Kevin put a latch on the bottom and a latch on top. And we pull it. This is just one of those, siding is, this was a piece of a broken water tank. So it's plastic with metal below it. And then, Sassy. All right. Yeah, this is another quote coop, and you might recognize it. It used to be a dryer, and they love it. Gives them shade, and these guys tend to decide to put their eggs in different places. So It doesn't really matter. Um, at any rate, this is their little area. So you just get it out in old dryer and use the base of it. And this is another one of those plastic tubs. I think it was for dog food. I don't know. We got that on sale at Tractor Supply. And we used the door to the dryer as an opening. So when the weather's really bad, we can close this. Well, we used to. I guess Kevin took the door off. We can actually close it up so that they don't get all nasty. Again, make sure my door is closed. Going down through here, another plastic container. As you can see, it's close to the fence so that I can just go ahead and water into there. And then you can see my duck pond. We started out with the little pink one when they were little. Yes, I got a fly in my mouth. Kidding. Okay, so we started out with the little pink one, and we upgraded to the big blue one. Renee actually gave us the big blue one, and we kind of waterfall it. And I'm not worried about all the bugs because there are, I don't know if you can see them poking up here and there. There are some little goldfish in this pond that eat the bugs. I try to keep goldfish in there for that purpose. That way it keeps down the mosquitoes and such. You know, these bars, we bought a lot of them, but we've also gotten many of them off of different job sites that they were getting thrown out. They were put in a pile and they said, take it away. And they're great, you know, and that holds the wire. You do it so many feet. The wire, you get the wire as tight as you can, but this big hold wire here, we got from somebody who had made like a goat pen or something out of it, and they didn't want it anymore, so yay for us. They told us to take it away. You would be amazed at what you can find. Okay, so you'll notice that in this pen, I don't have a roof to it. It's because it's for the turkeys and the ducks. We do have one chicken in here that was getting beat up pretty bad. So the turkey watches that chicken like a hawk. That's her baby. We put her in here so that she can recuperate. And the turkey's big enough that really no predators are coming after her. And the ducks are just obnoxious, so nobody wants them. Except for me, huh, Affleck? I mean, Sassy. Where's Affleck? Oh, in there. Okay, so that is this pen, and it's just pieced together, you know? You use what you have laying around. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be fancy. We're not trying to impress the neighbors or anybody. We need functionality. So, and this is what worked. You'll notice we have wire. This is one of our first pins. We have wire on the top of this. This is for the birds of prey. It doesn't keep out the little tiny birds. But again, we have a plastic tub. We have the wire, and we've kind of just bent the wire. And we use a lot of zip ties around here for like everything. And we had a little escape route right here, so we put in a board. This has the wood framing on it. Again, this was all, you know, materials that weren't going to get used, that were getting thrown away in a pile. That was our first coop. As you can see, it's just that was made out of pallets, and then we added on some boards for some security. It's got a metal top. Kevin put a board for roosting in the center of it. This is just a piece of sheet metal. It's got a latch on top. It's got a bolt on the bottom. Oh. This is so I could show you. And I always thought that was going to be really flimsy, and it feels like it is, but it's actually sturdy. But you see there's a roosting board there. And no matter what, you can't keep your birds from pooping on everything, which they will do, which is why the hay is wonderful. It keeps down the smell, and it goes into your garden later as compost, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So this is the one that I think is really funny. Oh, let me put my screw back in. Is this coop. So looking at it, you're like, it's a tin shed, right? Absolutely not. It's all scrap tin material. And I think I've done a video on this before, but it's got a little latch here. I always have to kick the bottom to wiggle it. Right there. Hi, girls. I bought this, what's it called? Greenhouse. Off of Amazon for like $100. And it's got all this, stuff here for putting your flowers and starting your greenhouse. And it had a plastic top. Plastic top bit the dust the first time the wind blew. So, okay. Kevin took the framing and built over the framing all the plastic, or all the metal, and made a coop. And it's large, and it's wonderful, and it's awesome. So that's how that was created. And it's a great little building. It's been there for 3 years now. So love it. Again, we needed a fence into the garden area from the driveway. So, piece of metal, some wood, a couple of stakes. We're in business. And that's it. I think that answered. I put the food out in these metal containers, until the handle falls off, which does happen. You don't have any leakage. They're trash cans, I think is what they are. Tractor Supply. I do a lot of my gardening in plastic buckets. That is for the plants that need a softer soil. Here you'll see that's that plastic bucket. If you go to places that do massive laundry, like hotels and that kind of thing, they'll have all these tubs, and if you ask, they'll usually sell them to you. I know they'll either give them to you or sell them to you for like $3. So they actually come big time in handy, and they're getting recycled, so there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you can see they're Kirkland laundry detergent buckets. We got those from a hotel in town. I think they charged us like $2 to $3 each. For some, they're just gonna throw it away, but we didn't mind the donation. So everybody needs a little something, right? So that's how these things were built. All scrap material, all economical. You don't have to break your bank in your back trying to find a nice place to find your birds. And birds at like Tractor Supply, they can run anywhere from $4 to $7 each, depending on what breed you want to get. And ducks, I think, are a little more expensive. Typically, turkeys in the store are like $7.99 each. But you can order them online. The problem with ordering them online is that you have to buy like at least 10. So expect to spend some money, right? I haven't done an online order, although I think next year I probably will, because I keep either not having the money or missing the window of getting turkeys in the spring. So I got to work on that. And bird food for every, I'm going to say 6 birds, you're going to go through one 40-pound bag of feed a month. And you can pay anywhere from $14 or actually $11 all the way up to $50 on bird feed. I don't bother buying expensive bird feed. I buy, where is the bag for that? Yeah. I buy the stuff in the yellow bag at Tractor Supply, laying hen food. And then I always give mine a treat. And these things are wonderful. I give them seeds, sunflower seeds, either grown, I hate buying them, and worms. And these buckets of worms are $60, but they should last you. I give them a little bit every morning with the seed, and during the winter, I give them corn. Corn helps build up the heat in their body, and yes, your chickens will be fine outside in the snow. They acclimate very, very well. So they're not expensive to raise, really. And when you're considering a dozen eggs right now is what, $5 a carton, and you're getting good lay eggs. You know, they talk about cage free and all this crap. Well, I don't care. My birds are not suffering from being in a cage. And when you're talking about living rurally like we do, you want them in a cage. Don't let them go running around in the desert. You'll never see them again. They just became somebody else's food. So my birds don't mind their cage. They love having their little houses that they can go in and at night. They like being safe. They like being protective. And they really are more productive knowing that they're safe. They're not stressed out. They're not scared. They're not worried. Yeah, it's nice that they could go peck the ground. However, those cage-free roaming birds, they don't tell you a lot of the other facts. This is why I went to raising my own eggs. I watched a documentary. Now, I know the actual time span that I always knew that a chicken became a laying hen, where it went from hatch to lay, okay? The documentary showed me that even on these cage-free, roam-free, blah, 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 that these birds were going from hatch to lay in 30 days, 1 month, out of the shell to laying another egg. My friends, the natural order of life, they go from hatching out of the shell to laying in 6 months. That's when you're not pumping them. That's just natural. They're not getting pumped full of chemicals and everything. That to me is way more important than how far my bird gets to roam every day. And if you look, these guys, they like to cuddle. They like to be together. They like to just kind of hang out. When they're done eating, they just kind of cuddle up and hug on. Then they'll go back to eating again. And as long as they've got plenty of food and a safe place to be, they're productive and they're happy. There you go. So I'm not in for the whole hype. Don't fall for the hype. Isn't that right, Bethy? Isn't that right, my sweet girl? Yeah, how my Dr. Gobble Gobble doing? How my little girl? Yeah. We know better. Yes. So actually, the reason I did this long strip just to end this on for the ducks is because ducks are nasty. They're gross. They're disgusting. They poop everywhere. And I wanted them to have a long way to basically waddle out and poo instead of doing it inside of their little pen. Hi, girl. How you doing? Hi. You want to say hello? You want to say hello? Hello. You going to give us the evil eye? Yes. Turkeys are very curious. And she likes her pets. She's pretty funny. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brownie. Go ahead. Sassy Pants. Tell me what's going on. Oh, she quit talking. So anyway, that's why they got such a long run. And they're big enough to hold their own. The birds of prey are not going for them. So that's it. That's how it was done. And yes, I water everything with a hose because I haven't gotten that fancy yet. And that's it. Have a wonderful day. Good luck to you on your coops. Remember, you have to watch the little ones. They need safety. I can, of course, take the tarps down now because nothing's going to attack them through those little things. And make sure you put a roof on, please, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, because those predators will just swoop right in and take them. Make sure that they're secure because, we've had a fox, we've had coyotes, we've had all sorts of things stalk our pens. So just give them a nice place to huddle up in enough room that they can walk around. They can get some exercise. And you'll have some happy laying birds. Talk to you later.